What's up, YouTube? Today we're going to do a edit breakdown. Or I'm gonna call it the cook-up session. Today's gonna be a cook-up session where you're gonna see me edit a curling video that I am doing for the St. Joseph Curling Club. Now, getting started, we're gonna go to our A-roll. A-roll, we have nothing right now. For reference, I actually went to this thing looking just to go curling myself with some friends. Thad, this guy right here. And then it turned out to be a much bigger event. He was expecting only 6 people, and then like 50 people showed up because the Olympics. So instead of me curling, I said, you know what? I always bring my camera. Let me go film stuff because he ended up getting interviewed by the news and stuff. So I was like, yeah, we'll do something like that. So A-roll will be for interviews if I happen to go back and interview the organizers. Other than that, everything that I make will be here in the clips section, which is all considered B-roll. So quick little breakdown, audio. If I go and get music, which you will watch me get music, music SFX, that goes here, sound effects. That's the audio folder. Clips, one screen, A-roll, B-roll, explain. Graphics, don't have any. Timelines, we'll build that out. YouTube video, boom. So that's the whole breakdown. We have power bins, but don't even worry about that. So to start this off, we're gonna go search for some music. I always use Epidemic Sound. I have a subscription with them. I think I pay like $250 a year. It's pretty good. My YouTube channel. But for this was a very like cool, chill event. So it doesn't need to be like hype music. I'm not making a hype edit. This is for the St. Joseph community. And if you look at the demographics that were all there, it was typically like middle-aged, probably middle class income, and it's just, you know, them having a good time. So when I look at music, I'm not going to be like hip hop. I'm probably not even going to do country. It'll probably just be like something very corporate-y. So we're going to go to the corporate genre. So if we scroll down to the bottom, okay, I think I can maybe work with that. So I'm gonna heart it, and we're gonna keep searching. I always try to get 3.
A few minutes later.
So I'm gonna go with this one. Visions by Lennon Hutton. So I'm gonna download this. I can download the full mix as a waveform or MP3. I typically do wave because it's higher quality. And then I sometimes will download all stems. And actually, I think I will download all the stems and the full mix. Reason being, what stems are, I guess I should probably explain that. Stems are each individual music. So there's vocals on one, but there's no vocals for this. Then like the bass, then like if there's a trumpet, like each individual instrument. And what that does is like, if somebody's talking, I can pull out like some of the, let's say you have sound in like the high octaves or like the higher waves, middle and low. And let's say their voice is like in the middle. I can pull away the high and the mids and just leave the lows, and it still gives that full breadth of pleasing to your ears, while also not like overwhelming, and you don't have to turn down the volume too much. It sounds weird, but it promises it works sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't, but I downloaded it all. It's going to take a little while to download, 3 minutes. So I'm not going to bore you with all that. We're going to skip past all this.
A few minutes later.
It has been downloaded. So what I do now is I'll go to my master audio music folder, import media. And I just put in my downloads. So now it's each individual parts. Pretty cool, right? And then it has the full mix still here if I need it. So now I usually edit to the audio. Like I'll like imagine how I'm gonna cut things from the audio. Just because music tells stories much better than visuals do. People will forgive bad visuals. People will never forgive bad audio. So I like to just edit to the audio because that rule seems to make sense. With that being said, before I do that, I'm now going to take my selects. So this is a new process that I've been implementing that keeps me organized. Before I used to just like search through, drag a clip where I wanted it. And that worked. But now that I'm doing bigger projects, I've learned about selects, making multiple timelines, and it's saved me so much. Whenever like clients have revisions or like I make my own revisions, I can build on the step where I can still see everything. So what I'm going to do is create a new timeline. We're going to call this action selects. Boom, that's a timeline. We're going to create another timeline. We're going to call this cinematic selects, SLX for selects. We're going to create a new timeline. And we're going to call this atmosphere selects. Just stuff to help tell that story. We're going to create a new timeline. We're going to have coaching selects because I had my buddy Thad mic'd up at some point. Let's see, action, atmosphere, cinematic, coaching. I know there's more selects that I normally have, but I think this is a good enough basis that gets my point across. Now, this point is where things can get really tedious. Let me actually create a new bin and put selects on here. And all of these, all of these go in this bin, okay? Then I have a new bin for actual video, which I'll just type in video, but my selects go in here. So once again, going back up, we have timelines, selects, video. I'm gonna go to my selects. Now we're gonna go through all of my clips and add them to here, okay? So anytime I see action, I add it to this. It's that simple. And I like to go through every single clip multiple times to make sure I don't miss anything. So like all of this, there's no action right now. There's an atmosphere, there's a lot of atmosphere stuff, but there's no like true action. Maybe this, let's see. So I'm gonna press my endpoint here. And we're gonna get out there, okay? And we're just gonna drag it on, boom. That's the select. So now instead of me having to go back to the video and like search through and find one from these little timelines, I have a full timeline right here of everything that I think is deemable to be used for a video. And I probably won't use most of this video, but you need to have coverage. Boom, another select that I'm liking. We'll go. Oh, we're not going to keep that. But that could have been something I could have used.
And you're going to push off.
We're going to keep that one, though. This is the news. The news did show up and bring their own stuff. I definitely looked like way overkill having my camera equipment. I had a lot of people asking me who I was here for. And it was an interesting answer when I kept telling them I'm just here for my friend Thad. We're not going to keep that. That will actually probably go under coaching.
We're going to put it underneath. Big thing is that the bottom right here, it's the hard plastic side.
Yeah, we're going to keep that.
Big thing is that hard plastic side.
It's very nice also to say learning the keyboard commands has made this a lot faster. I used to have to like drag. I would have to use a mouse because I'd be dragging so often. But now that I know like a lot of keyboard shortcuts, it does make this a lot faster.
That happens every single time. You're gonna do.
So boom, that's a good action select. It's a good action select. It might also go into coaching because I know this is a coach. At this point, my friend also was mic'd up, so you're going to hear his voice in clips that he's clearly not in, and that's just cool. I can use it for background audio. I might just cut the audio altogether. Who knows? And I think one more thing to point out is that I will keep every select, even if I feel like I have that same shot multiple times. Because a lot of times I see when I go back and review, like, yes, there was possibly, had multiple, but there's always a difference between clips. So I always try to find the best one. So I don't mind recording the same thing over and over and over again. All right, so I am going to do more of these selects. I might fast forward through here actually on the video because I'm not going to make you sit through all this. So one thing you will notice on here, the footage is probably going to be a little bit shakier than it normally would. I was standing on the ice barefoot. Now, it wasn't as slippery as you would think but it was still pretty slippery.
Either that
So I was more concerned with protecting my camera gear than getting the shot, to be very, very honest with you, because this was not a paid shoot. But yeah, that might be a little bit why some footage is shaky. I can still recover it, but wanted to give you guys a little clarification. So boom, there we go. That is all of the action selects. I have to do that 4 more times now. So as you can see, we are already 23 minutes into this video and I still haven't even organized footage yet. This stuff takes a long time. Okay. So now we're going to go on to cinematic selects. I'm going to roll through this. I'm actually just not going to make you guys suffer through that. Once I get selects figured out, I'll get the camera back rolling and it will be good to go. So peace for now.
A few minutes later.
45 minutes later, we have done all of our selects. Woo! Now we actually start, now we don't really start editing, but we start a little bit of some. So I do have a part of this. Yep, we're still recording. There's a part of this song or from the coaching selects that I want to keep. And that is this clip right here. I will show you.
Now we're going to teach you guys how to sweep. So we're going to give you guys a little bit of tips. So sweeping, what it does is it helps speed up the rock. So it's actually creating less friction because we put this water on it and it makes little pebbles. And so when we sweep it, we're heating it up so that it clears it off so that it goes faster. So you really have to get into it. This isn't like sweeping. You are putting all your weight on it and pushing as hard as you can just to make that little bit of difference. So if you guys watched like the Women Olympics, they had a girl that was like hopping behind it so that she could get the weight on her broom to create the friction. We're not going to do that because that's dangerous.
So I want to incorporate something of that into this. I'm not sure how, to be very honest, because now looking back on it, it's not that clear. It's not really telling the story. It's actually just coaching, which is what he was supposed to be doing. But I kind of want to get some of that in there. We'll find out if I can do it. Now that we have all of that situated, my video, I'm going to create a new timeline. And this is V1, okay? We're going to give it 4 tracks. Add tracks. Let's do 3 below audio 1, 0 above. Boom. That was supposed to do that the first time. So we have our tracks now. This is what we're working with. I'm going to go now to our selects. And actually, before I do that, we're going to put music because I edited the music. I like to actually just throw these all in here like this and have a layered song rather than the full mix immediately. I know it's weird, but it works. It sounds about the same. You wouldn't know that it's 4 different tracks, obviously. So now that we got that imported, let's look for this. We're going to make this about a minute-long video. So I don't know. Let's listen to the song one more time in its entirety. That blue marker is where I think I want to start this. So I thought the song was going to do something. It didn't do it. So we're going to go back. Now, I do have a thing on here where I can show music beats and it can auto clip. I feel like it's not as human because like audio and visuals, it's a little bit delayed. So I like to do it as I feel. It feels more natural rather than using AI to detect when the actual exact beat is, if that makes any sense. going to scoot that over to here. This would actually be a very simple, very, very simple one. And then right here, we're actually going to do something. Matter of fact, here's what we're going to do. I might let AI cook up a little bit, which I almost never do. But I hear something and I don't want to actually mix it up myself. So I want to start the song here. And then what I'm going to do is, boom, we're at where's 1 minute mark? Right here. AI music editor. We're going to adjust. First of all, it's going to analyze this clip. Actually, I just got accepted into a media event for college scouts coming to watch high school athletes, and that's this Saturday. So I'm trying to work out right now if I can actually go. I applied to this months ago, and they responded today, Tuesday, for Saturday event. I've already got other things planned. I'm going to try to move stuff around, but if I can't, I can't. I fully thought they just passed over me, and it turns out I got accepted. I kind of wish they got to me earlier, but it is what it is.
A few minutes later.
All right, we are back. I realized my camera was about to die. So I had to move over here. This is where the nearest outlet was, and I didn't bring my extension cord. So we're here. So now we're going to use the AI Live Trim. And what this does is I'm going to trim this song all the way down to here. And what it does, it took the song that already existed and mashed it up a little bit. And they have multiple versions where it can sound either good or bad. So in fact, what we're going to do is we're going to solo this and just play it. All right, so AI did a pretty decent job. We're going to roll with it. So actually what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to delete all of these and redo it now with the new AI one. We're going to redo that. We're going to play that. We're going to let that one go off vibes. So we're going to start here. We're just going on to 2 and a 4. Awesome. Boom. We have now marked where we're going to have all our clips cut. Very, very simple. Okay. Once again, I go a little bit more in depth when I do client work, but because this is free, it's simple. They won't notice a difference and it's going to look good. So we always start off, at least me, I like to tell the story first, get people hooked before I bring in the action. So we're gonna do some of the cinematic shot that helps, or atmosphere shots to help tell us where we're at. So I think a good starting point. In fact, we're gonna separate the audio clips. No, we're not gonna separate the audio clips. We're not, and then I will separate them once we're done. So let's see, what's a good clip that tells us? Hence our selects. These are my atmosphere selects.
A couple of years ago.
I have my playback quality to 25% on proxies, so this is not what it actually looks like. For reference, I filmed in S-Centone, which is like a no color grade type of thing, where it's like you just turn around and really post as is. You still got to adjust like a few things, but it's pretty good.
Check it out.
So I think the sad thing about this place, there wasn't much room to like get full atmosphere. There was no stands for real. So everything was very, very close. So I think what I might do is start off with this. We're gonna go to V1. I'm gonna put V1 over here. We're gonna move this down to A5 again, just because we know we're getting there. In fact, we're gonna end it there. Actually, we're not. We'll just build on top. Yeah, this is a good one. I like. So we'll throw this on top right here. So we're gonna cut right before my camera moved. So far we have this. Might cut a little bit later, just a little bit. And if anything, we can actually drag this out a little bit more. I wanted to get to here. So luckily the clip is clean until then. So then we can do another atmosphere shot. I like this one. You get to show the crowd working. So, right, boom. We're gonna cut it right here. So I think now, because we're having a tutum into the sound, I think we can start getting a little bit more action.
Big thing is that the bottom.
I think we're gonna go with this clip right here.
Big thing is that the bottom right here, the hard part.
So boom, action. Actually, I like this action actually a little bit more. So we might layer this. Like,
big thing is that the bottom right here, the hard part.
But see, now these two shots are a little similar. Just the color scheme, the white on the white is too similar. So what I might do instead is take, like this, we had a different movement.
Big thing is
still. So that was enough of a difference where it's like, okay, to the eye, that's not confusing, or to the brain. But here, still to still, like the movement was just not enough for me to feel any type of way about it. So what I will do instead is use this clip. Different angle, different focal length, different everything. And I think that will do a better job telling the story.
Is that the bottom right? Big thing is that the bottom. Is that the bottom. Big thing is that the bottom.
So we're going to cut. Boom. Let's go back to action. We're going to choose. We're going to use her. Yep. I think we're going to leave out the clip part where she falls. So we're going to go here. We're going to go to a coaching now because I like this clip. So I'll add that right here. We'll go above. I like to alternate my above and below. It just helps me. We're going to go boom. I like that action. I need a cinematic, I mean. Let's get when he looks back at the camera. Let's go back to action. Yeah, new angle. And this is, I mean, seriously, this is like the editing. This is what it is right now. Now, I would probably add a lot more sound design for a different type of video where I'm getting paid for it. But mostly it's a time consuming thing. Because if I go back in sound design, it's probably an extra 2 or 3 hours of sound designing with this, like adding like the ice skating, hitting the, even though they don't have shoes on, but that ice skating sound, hearing the rock slide. Those are all things you add in post a lot of times, unless your mic picks it up. But sometimes you need a little bit more. If you ever do video production at some point, or see behind the scenes, a lot of stuff is not real. But that takes a long time to do. And for like a video like this, where they are just going to probably post it once a time, probably never use it again. It's not going to be used for their marketing purposes. It's just a cool video to have. I don't think I need to do all of that.
Big thing is that the bottom.
So like here, let's say for this thing, I'd have footsteps of him walking. I'd have the metal on ice sound, this brush on the ice sound, maybe a little bit of a riser to build that tension. But like those are all sounds I gotta first find, then audio EQ, then put in, and then make it make sense, but then not be overpowering that you even notice it. You watch any type of TV show. All of those are there. You just don't notice it, but they help build that fill. You got to fill the sound with the highs, the mediums, and the lows. So that's where all that comes into play. So we're going to go back to a cinematic because I haven't. That won't fit. The cinematic won't fit there. I'm going to go back to a coaching.
Give me a direction. Hold on.
I like this clip. Oh, no. Yeah, I'm going to do boom.
It needs a curve.
We're going to cut that right there. So now I want to get something close because that was pretty wide.
And you're going to.
So we're going to go right here. I didn't get to use this, and I do like this. I might actually layer this into the beginning. Yeah, so I have multiple of these pans, so what I might do instead is throw this right here. Yeah.
Big thing is that the bottom.
So we're going to go back to coaching, I think.
got it.
Apparently, this guy was really, really good at curling. So,
You got it. We saw people going too.
yeah.
We saw people going too.
Sorry, I'm not talking much. I'm just thinking a lot, and I don't do a great job talking while thinking sometimes. I'm actually going back to this beginning part, and I'm not liking everything I have. I actually kind of want to put this here now.
Big thing is that the bottom.
So I think what I might do, actually, I kind of like this.
That the bottom right part. Big thing is that the bottom right here, the hard side, it's on the side.
No, we're not keeping it. Never mind. It wasn't doing it for me.
We saw people going too.
I think I want to get another coaching select, and we're going to get Thad.
And so when we sweep it, we're heating it up so that it quick.
Yeah, that's a good one. So we're going to go right here. Boom.
And so when we sweep it, we're heating it up.
Makes it look like he doesn't know what he's doing. So actually, we're going to, yeah, right here. And this is where we got it.
So that it clears it off. So
I like this shot. We'll go here. What was that? I don't know. Oh, it's really just a lot of this. So we're going to put this right here. We're going to finish off with the cinematics. I already know I like this shot, so I'm going to keep it there. I think I might put another action shot, and I want to have something from behind, if possible, because we just saw that foot leave off right before this.
in the first couple of weeks, you are.
I know I had a shot from behind. Might be in the coaching. We are looking.
The skip.
I don't want that one though. Maybe it's in a coach. Maybe it's an atmosphere. It actually could be.
Grab your hips back. Check it out.
I don't know. I think I might have. I know I have one. There it is. There it is. It was in cinematic. Woo. Glad I organized. Oops. So let's go back to coaching. Or was it in cinematic? Yeah.
On.
So we're going to take that. We're going to go back to coaches now. We're going to get some of the older folks. Doing the same exact motion. I love that. So I want to get this rock sliding if possible now. Yes. I love when I have coverage. Future Nagib, or I thank past Nagib for thinking of future Nagib. I don't want it to come into focus that late. I want it to come in focus just a little bit earlier and then leave focus. Do we have any smiling faces now? Yeah, right here. Smiling faces. Let's show them happy. So we have that camera going this motion. So I want to see if I can find something else to complete that. I don't think I do actually. Look, just knowing. I don't think I did.
Don't be on the slider. Ooh. Drive your hips back.
So none of these. I think I need a little bit more sweeping. What's going to tell the story?
Stand up with this still. Once you slide all the way out, do not try to.
If he was going the opposite direction, I'd be. Oh, actually,
Once you slide all the way out, do not try to stand up with this.
I like that. We have some contrast. So
Do not try to stand. Are we speaking now?
we're only halfway through this edit. So I'm now seeing though that I have a lot of repetitiveness, and I don't like that. I don't want to have like the same shots over and over. So one thing I could do is go back and reorganize things, or two, I can shorten the clip. And with social media, which is where this is going, I'm probably just going to shorten the clip because I don't need to make something longer and put in filler words. It's like SEO for like blog for my website people. I had a marketing job and blogs and SEO was my thing, along with Facebook ads. 2,000 keywords is like money. But if you don't have 2,000 words to put in, you don't have 2,000 words to put in. Yes, you can try to like fill it out to at least hit like 1,500, but like Google knows whenever you're just throwing in filler words. People know when you're just throwing in filler words. That doesn't matter. If they just want people to get their information, go. So with that being said, with this thing, I think people got what was going. So I can probably end this earlier and find a good way to wrap it up. So what I might do now is go back to my AI editor, adjust. We might put it to here. So now let's see what it does.
Big. We saw people go through. So that clears it off. So do not try to stand. Do not try to stand.
So with this one, it made me realize now these markers all over here irrelevant because they're not tuned to this new audio. So right here. So I might move this here, and let's just fill this in a little bit more. So I think we might get a close cinematic. No, we already have that shot. We're gonna get that. We're gonna throw that right here.
Try to stand.
Did not mean to copy that. So we're here. Yeah, I like that. Let's go back to coaching. I want to get a little bit more into coaching. That's a good one. Wait, we might have used that. This one we haven't. So we might go back to cinematic now that we're slowing down. Used. 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 Okay. We are off cinematic. We're going to go back to atmosphere. Because atmosphere is close by.
A couple of years ago, Alex was looking into it because we like to play.
So we're going to go with that. We're just going to keep telling that story. Boom.
Don't be on the slider. Grab your hips back. Check it out.
Boom. We can't use from there. So we have coaching and we have actions. That's our only two options to really pull from. We've used that clip. We've used this clip. I think we've used that clip, but we need something to wind down to. So we've used that.
Give me a drip. Off.
Yeah. This is a good one. And to finish it off, we're going to go with this one. And for emphasis, we'll fade to black. Boom. So that is 44 seconds. So now I'm going to let you guys see it. This is now version 1. I ended up with like 6 versions. I'm not going to drag you through that because this video is already very, very long. But this is what it looks like. I'm going to turn the playback resolution back to 100. Keep in mind, this is on proxies right now. So proxies are like 720p versions of my 4K footage. So it's actually clearer than this. So right now, I'm really just looking for obvious cropping errors. Also things that maybe like, let's say there's a clip that somebody who might watch this be like, I wish they didn't put that in. I'm going to now check for that because I don't want people to not be happy with the video, even if they're not the client. Yeah, even if they're not happy with even if they're not the client directly, but they're like one of my clients. I don't want them to be unhappy with the video either because that could affect their business. So I look for things like that. So like a lot of the falls, I'm probably just not going to leave that because nobody wants to be seen, failing. And I'm not even worried about the audio yet of the clips.
Do not try to stand.
Sweet. So that looked decent. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of actually all of these audios because they don't need to be in there. I'm going to delete empty tracks. And boom, this is what we have. So what I would go through now is like stabilize some of the footage. It's like this one, there was like a micro jitter. So what I can do now is stabilization. I'm going to do perspective. We're going to keep it on perspective. I'm not going to camera lock. So yeah, see how the clip looks a lot more stable. So what I'm going to do now, go through, stabilize all the footage, run through it again, make sure it all looks good. And I'm just going to be cool with that. Once again, this is not a deep dive edit. I do a lot more with my edits, but this is a good glimpse into what goes behind the work. I think I started, how long ago did I start? I think this took me probably about an hour and a half for this quick rough draft. Probably if I were to like not be explaining and then just do it, I could have probably got this done in 50 minutes, I would say. But when I talk, it takes me a long time to regather my thoughts and stuff like that. When I get in a groove, I get in a groove. But if I were to do this like as a full breakdown edit, that might take me like 3 hours total for a 40-second video. It happens. But I also like to keep my stuff organized. This is extra. I'm not going to lie. What I'm doing right now with the selects is extra. But when I do my big projects, like I have a client for a charter school. We're doing why am I blanking? We're doing an onboarding system for an entire school district. I have 30 hours of footage to comb through. 30 hours of like 4K footage to comb through and then cut down into probably like a 5 or 6 hour deliverable. I think it might be shorter. It'll probably be like 2 or 3, actually. 2 or 3 hours, including B-roll, not just talking head, but B-roll of all the things. I need to be organized. So I just build that habit. So yeah, it's times like this where it's a quick video, I don't need to, but in those big projects, if I want to deliver, I plan to deliver 2 weeks after our final shoot date. I have to be organized and edit along the way, obviously. But so yeah, that's my process for doing this. I'm gonna do some audio mixing off camera. I'm gonna do a few more things off camera, and then I'll show you the final result at the end. But thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you guys got to see a little bit of insight for the few people who are watching. Clients, feel free to book me. I'm in the Kansas City area, but I travel. I was just in Vegas a couple weeks ago. So yeah, peace.